Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
It's hot. You need air conditioning. You need Taylor Heating and Plumbing at Taylor 500 Help. In fact, was that the Taylor Heating and Plumbing van I saw in the driveway of Revere Realty here at 530 Titus Avenue?
Yeah, it's 850 degrees in this room right now with our window unit. So we cannot wait until they finish the job that they started today.
Your microphone wasn't even on.
There you go. All right,
Yes.
so what I said was it's 850 degrees in this room right now.
Yeah.
We have our window air unit running, and we can't wait until Taylor finishes the job that they started today.
That's right. So you don't want to be one of these people stuck without air conditioning, because it looks to me in Rochester, it's going to be one long hot summer. So get your air conditioning, get your ducts cleaned, get a comprehensive maintenance plan. You can get financing. Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Call Jerry. He is the guy that's going to set you up with everything you need. Jerry at Taylor Heating and Plumbing, 500 Help. Precision Lawn and Garden. Make sure that your lawn is the envy of the neighborhood with one of these zero-turn mowers that Justin and Kimberly have for sale up there at Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. Open weekdays 8 to 5, and they're open Saturday 9 to noon. Precision Lawn and Garden has been providing Rochester and the surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. They've got it all. Lawn mowers, chainsaws, blowers, new models, sale models, all Still products, Cub Cadet, Ferris, and Toro at Precision Lawn and Garden in Webster. And also make sure that your driveway looks fantastic with a freshly sealed driveway. Call Express Sealers. They're not a fly-by-night company. They're not one of those door knocker sealing companies. Protect your investment. They treat grease spots. They have thickly professional hand-plied commercial grade seal coat. They do it all. Patching, lawn and landscape. Call them today, 645-2010. That's 645-2010. Express Sealers. They will make sure your driveway looks amazing.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in sunny Irondequoit, New York. Here's Kimberly.
It is Kimberly's Revolution. How are you? What's going on? What's going on?
Happy Wednesday.
Whoop, whoop, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next time you guys want to do a show at 3:45, how about it's best to tell the host that a show is going to happen at 3:40. So Tom is texting
Nothing to
me,
see here. No big deal.
where are you? Kimberly, where are you? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm on my way. He goes, the show was going to start at 3:45. And I said, first time hearing of it, guys. Kimberly's Revolution starts at 4.
I got important shit to do tonight, Kimberly.
I know you do, but if you're going to change the time, you got to let me know.
I might go to jail tonight.
You're crazy. Kimberly's Revolution, of course, brought to you by Rockvox Productions. And if you are a company that wants to do a podcast, make sure you call Fitz, Rockvox Productions over in Bushnell's Basin, and he will set you up.
See what this jerk just did?
No.
When I said that I might go to jail tonight.
He said yay. He said yay.
He prayed. He got on his knees and prayed.
I got cred. I got pray cred.
I'm just going to say it. Unlike you and some of the other people that we know that, my text line was going, off like crazy.
Today.
I don't go looking for trouble. Trouble just finds me. Right. I am an innocent bystander in all trouble always.
Right.
Shocker.
I don't go looking for trouble like some people do. So yes, I stand with Chad. The rally is tonight, 5:30 at Irondequoit Town Hall. You have to be in court at 5:30, right? That's the name of the show.
Yeah.
Name of the show is I Stand with Chad on Kimberly's Revolution today, because now nobody's wearing a mask. So it's really a moot point, right? I mean, it's not, is it really worth fighting over and discussing anymore? That you should go in and the judge should say, okay, we're going to drop the whole thing and everyone should go done and go home.
Right.
What's for dinner? No?
Right.
I mean, in my mind and in my Kimberly's world, that's how That's how I imagine things should be, right? Okay, so the mask is like null and void. Nobody's wearing it anymore. Kids aren't wearing them in school. They were, and then they weren't, and then they were, and then they were. I can't keep up with it.
But I put lives in danger.
Did you?
I put lives
Yeah,
in danger
yeah.
on May 1st.
Where
When I went to the school district,
People were afraid.
yeah, and I stood 150 feet away, I put lives in danger.
Doesn't
I
that
see.
seem like 2 years ago now?
It
Yeah.
seems
It does.
forever
May
ago.
1st.
But really, isn't it over? I mean, why drag it out, right? I mean, everyone's back to normalcy for the most part, except for the crazies out there
Except for me.
that are still wearing a mask when they're in a car alone. You know who you are.
I saw a lady cutting her grass last
Wearing
weekend.
the mask.
Last Saturday. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember. It was around 85 to 90 degrees last
Yeah,
Saturday. It was stuffy.
Yeah.
Out on Titus Avenue. She was outside. She was probably in her mid to late 60s, if not 70.
It's crazy.
And she was cutting her front lawn
Legitimate.
with a mask on.
Certifiable.
Yeah. And you know what?
Crazy. That honestly, that is that you look
Maybe
in the
she's
dictionary.
always done that.
Not to get into the weeds.
Probably.
No pun intended. Not to get into the weeds, but
You know, I love the weeds.
whose fault do you think that is? Do you think that she woke up 18 months ago and said, you know what, COVID is pretty bad. I should probably wear a mask when I'm outside in 85-degree heat when I'm cutting my lawn?
No, I think she's been backed into a corner and people been brainwashed and now they're
Exactly.
afraid. They've been taught for 18 months to be afraid. They've been taught by the government to be afraid.
Exactly.
They've been, bullied and basically forced to do something that they didn't want to do. And so that's where we are. But
Dr.
me-
Mike Mendoza, that's whose fault it is.
Yeah, well, it's a lot
And
of
Andrew
people's fault,
Cuomo.
but yeah. But in my world, in Kimberly's world, as I see it, which is lightness and
We're
rainbows
back in her world.
and puppy dog tails
Kimberly's world. Is that like
It is
Wayne's
June.
World?
and red, white, and blue bomb pops, everything that's American and in real life that's wonderful.
Like this room, red, white, and blue.
That's right. You go in to the courthouse today. I stand with Chad for your court appearance, and the judge says, Chad, it's all over with. There's no reason to be here. Go home and have dinner with your lovely family. That's how I see things happening today. Do you think?
It certainly could happen that way, and it certainly should happen
It
that
should
way.
happen that way.
And it more than likely won't happen that way.
Okay.
That's just the reality of it.
Someone saying mask when mowing, asthma. Listen, I had asthma for years and I never wore a mask when I was mowing my lawn, and neither
Wait, what
did
are they
anyone
saying?
else.
Are they saying that,
That
you
maybe
would,
she was wearing a mask because she
because
had asthma.
that
and
would
she was
help
mowing.
you?
No, it wouldn't
in
help
the
you.
85-degree heat?
In fact, when you're asthmatic, when it's
Yeah.
hot out and you're wearing a mask and it stops your breathing, that's bad. When you're asthmatic, you're grasping for air.
I mean,
right?
I'm
So-
not sure. Maybe we're misunderstanding the question.
I
I
don't
don't know.
think so. But anyway, so yeah, so you're going in tonight. How do you feel about things?
Well, I feel rock solid on the law. In fact, I stumbled across some research that I was doing the other day, and I spoke to an attorney
Mhm.
out of Watkins Glen earlier today.
Yeah.
An attorney who handled a very similar case where he had an individual that he represented that was both being prosecuted in a criminal court and dealing with a school district issue
Right.
along the lines of a situation where they were arrested on campus.
Yeah.
And the situation, without getting into all the specifics, the situation was along the lines of the woman had been told through a through a letter from the school district, she had already been told not to come on campus. She came on campus anyway. She breached the school's security protocol to come onto campus.
Yeah.
What she did was, because she knew that they would recognize her, instead of hitting the intercom button where she would have to identify who she was and then certain
Right.
denial,
Right.
she waited until a couple board members walked in
She walked in behind
and she
him.
grabbed the door behind them.
Of course.
Yeah. So not only was she under a no trespass letter not to come to campus, but she also breached security protocol to get onto campus. The superintendent greeted her at the door, began to basically holler at her and tell her she had to leave. She said, no, I have a right to be here.
Of course.
Right? This sounds familiar. I think that's
It
what I
does.
said.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I didn't breach security to get on campus on May 1st. I walked right on. I had a right to be there. I walked right on campus. And the attorney for the individual, the attorney that I spoke with today, filed a motion to dismiss. And the court ruled that even though she was under a no trespass order, even though she breached security protocol,
Mhm.
he found that the order to leave campus and the subsequent arrest was illegitimate because she had a constitutional right to be there.
Of course,
it was an open
of
board
course.
meeting.
Yeah.
My son's game was an open baseball game.
Open baseball game.
I had a right to be there.
Of course.
So even if I incidentally broke some school policy, like wearing a mask when I'm 150 feet away from everybody, if I was in front of this judge in Watkins Glen, there's no question I'm off scot-free. I would have been off scot-free at the first court appearance.
Yeah, you would have. There would be no second to waste everyone's time.
Exactly.
Right. All this is a waste of time.
Yeah. So here we are, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Why are you wearing sunglasses in here?
What?
Is the future so bright?
Nice.
No, there's two reasons.
So bright?
There's two. I'm trying to raise the cool meter.
Just Tom.
A little bit.
Wow. Just having you in the room is cool.
And this way, when Chad talks, nobody will know I'm really sleeping.
Wow, he's wrecking me today, isn't he?
I know, right?
I like it.
So you guys, so honestly, someone's saying, did they really start? Yeah. So the thing is that I guess you guys were up here having a conversation after our show yesterday that we do, Kimberly's Revolution Daily Show with Just Tom. You guys had a conversation about starting the show early because you wanted to leave before 5 to get down to Irondequoit Town Hall. And
I needed to go grab a toothbrush and some clean underwear before I head to court.
I was right downstairs writing an offer for a client on a townhome over in Chilai.
So you were working, and apparently we were discussing moving the show today.
I was right downstairs. You guys could have come down and had the discussion with me, and then and then at 4 I met a client here. So at 4:30 I'm still here. I see you both before I leave, and you say nothing to me about starting the show early. What is wrong with the two of you?
We were canceling you.
It's I stand with Chad, Kimberly.
I stand with well, I've been canceled before. You know what? I can
you're
take
used to it.
I'm used to it. All right, let's talk Penfield. Let's talk about school board meetings. All right. First off,
shiatsu that was.
I can't think of any school board meeting I actually went to that I didn't have to go to, right? Because I was covering it for some news organization when I used to be a news director of a couple of different radio stations and on the news team of
you used to work on the radio?
When radio stations actually had news teams, I was like a news director or I was a reporter, depending on what point in my career.
Which one were you in?
No, I was like, radio is different than TV. I was never on TV. And there's a reason, obviously, because
you're on TV right now.
I know. I can't stand it. It's so hard for me to look at the camera. And anyway, so it's very uncomfortable for me.
So you were the guy with the Sex Panther perfume?
So, yeah.
A guy? He just called you a guy.
I know.
Well, she wasn't the other three, right?
So
she had to be the sports guy.
So there were a number of parents last night at this Penfield school board meeting, and they were upset with what? Curriculum? They're upset with the curriculum and masking. Is that my understanding at Penfield last night at the school board meeting?
Correct. And
it got a little out of hand. It got a little crazy, and we have video of it. So before we start, let's watch the video, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Thank you for your time.
That guy started it.
Thank you, Mr. Grani. That concludes the special, the visitor speaking time. So I'll turn it over to Superintendent's report.
Be respectful. You're elected representative to represent us. This isn't about you, Mark.
You're not going to stand up here and do anything to me. Hey, stop!
Uh-oh. Here's the name calling.
Why was that bleeped out?
There's the guy. I don't know why it was bleeped out.
What did you call me? I didn't call you I said you are elected to represent us. I didn't call you.
So as a board member, calling the parent
an asshole,
an effing a-hole, and then said, come on up here if you don't like it. Come on up here if you don't like it.
Who knew Penfield was so exciting?
It's very un-East Side like.
Yeah.
In fact, that's very West Side like.
It's very Grease like.
More like a Grease
very
meeting.
Grease side. It's very Hilton Grease-esque.
Right.
You know, we're used to that on, come on, hey, you talking to me? You talking to me?
Come on out the gates.
Hi, you effing asshole, you talking to me? Right? So then the guy runs up. That guy is named Rich, is that right?
Yeah.
That was the parent and so the school board member, and he's a Gates teacher, correct?
That's what I understand.
He is a Gates teacher and a Penfield school board member and acting ridiculously. That is ridiculous behavior from a school board member. A school board member should never, ever call a member, a parent in the audience, an effing a-hole. What is wrong with you? That's ridiculous. That's what happened, right?
Yes.
Tell us what basically
Did
transpired.
they need a memo for that, or city?
I don't know.
No memos.
No memo required.
I mean, I look at that and go,
I spoke to
Are
a
you
couple
kidding me?
individuals. I was getting
wait
text.
a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, he's going to go to sleep. I received a couple texts late last night. I'm watching the news and I'm getting texts. I'm getting Facebook messages with the video,
Right.
with people's videos that they took with their cell phones. And what I pieced together had occurred was when you hear the individual's voice in the background saying something to the effect of, "You're not going to disrespect us." It sounds like that was what launched everything.
right, because I get they've heard from people and now they're just disregarding the comments and they're moving on.
Yeah.
Right. They're moving on to other things. And people in the audience, the parents, were upset that they're basically their views were being ignored. Is that my understanding?
Yes, but there was
Okay.
something else going on though.
Okay.
And I don't know if we can pick it up on the video because you really have to kind of zoom in.
Okay.
And I'm not sure we can do that
Yeah,
on our equipment
I
here.
don't know.
But what is going on is the individual board member, the one that yelled asshole at the parent.
Right.
What he's doing, as soon as the public comments were closed, you saw the gentleman with the mask and he says, "We're going to move on."
Yeah, right. We're done with you. We're
Yeah.
not going to have any more discussion from the parents.
Yeah.
Your views don't matter.
At that
You're
time,
ridiculous. We're moving on.
at
Right,
that time,
basically,
and for the
right?
next 10 or 15 seconds, that board member next to him that yells asshole, he's making like taunting gestures at some of the parents.
What kind of gestures?
I guess he's waving his hands, he's laughing, he's just kind of making some taunting gestures like, "We don't care what you have to say." Because I guess what happened was, number one, he had just lost re-election.
This is not the WWE.
Yeah, he had just lost re-election, so apparently he might have been a little torqued that he had lost re-election.
Okay.
And the parents there to that last night, apparently one or more of the parents who spoke were questioning whether or not he had some financial connection to a critical race theory curriculum. So maybe he was getting a little hot under the collar, the board
see.
member.
Yeah.
And
What's the board's member's name?
last name is Yeager.
Yeager,
I don't
okay.
know his first name. Chuck Yeager?
No,
No.
that's a different Yeager.
Might be a relative.
Something Yeager.
Okay.
So Yeager is apparently
Proud American.
gesturing at the crowd. And then that's where the rich gentleman in the red shirt that you see jump up on stage.
Yeah. What's
That's
his name?
where-
Rich Tyson?
Was he
Rich
rich or
Tyson.
was he rich?
Yeah, Rich Tyson.
Not that
Yeah.
guy.
Correct. Let's watch again. And you
Yeah, that's the guy that
Okay.
started the
let's-
whole thing.
Let's hear it.
listen.
Finish report.
Be respectful. You're elected representative to represent us.
Yeah.
This isn't
So
about
stop
you.
there.
You're not gonna stand up here and do
So
anything to me.
when you hear Rich Tyson say, "Be respectful,"
That's because the
He's
guy next to the
responding
guy
to
in
the
the mask.
gesturing.
Yeah.
he's responding to the gesturing. And then that's where the board member stands up and says, "What are you going to do about it, asshole?" Or something to that effect.
Right. Come on up here.
And
if
he
you don't
tells
like
him to
it.
come on
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
So Tyson apparently decides, okay, he's asking me to come on up. I better follow the order of the board, right?
Well,
You
you don't turn down a challenge.
You don't turn down a request to come to the board,
That's
right?
a challenge.
Yeah, he's telling him to
that's a
come on
challenge.
up. You know, you might get arrested if you don't follow a board directive, right? I found out the hard way.
You
I didn't
did.
listen to the school authorities and I got arrested.
So let's watch the rest of it. Watch what happens. Watch what transpires. Here he is. Come
You hear-
on. Come on. He says, come on.
Move into recess.
Bill Yeager.
What did you call me? I didn't call you a I said you are elected to represent us. I told him that. I didn't tell you. I'm not telling you. Tell me what to do. I will. Welcome to our building. You are our guest. Let's go outside.
The parent there,
In the red shirt.
Rich Tyson, has every reason to be angry at the way things transpired at last night's board meeting. The board was disrespectful. The board should have taken the parents' concerns about the curriculum and masking more seriously. But it looks to me like the board just wanted to get on with the rest of it.
Of course.
We've heard enough of you.
They don't want to hear from
We're
parents.
moving on. This is ridiculous.
The parents always stand in the way of what they're
Right.
trying to accomplish.
Right. Yeah.
So the other two interesting things that are going on there is right after you see the gentleman in the red shirt, Rich Tyson, start to approach,
Mhm.
you immediately hear other board members say, Bill, out loud because they're shocked out loud
you're being
for what
ridiculous.
Bill Yeager had just said.
Yeah.
They couldn't believe what their own colleague had just said out loud.
Why do people think that it's okay to behave so badly? That is really awful behavior. And I know that it seems like now it's a free-for-all for awful behavior.
And then he had to be physically restrained
Yeah,
by the superintendent, Tom Putnam. I believe his first name's Tom or Sean or whatever.
Right.
But Putnam is the superintendent. So 3 individuals on this video end up, once the Tyson guy gets on stage, you can see that they actually have to physically hold back the Yeager guy.
Right. And
from going after Tyson.
This stems from the curriculum of critical race theory at Penfield schools.
And
right?
this gentleman apparently being accused of potentially having some financial connection. It's called Pathstone. It's the Pathstone curriculum.
Yes.
I think we talked about this maybe on a prior show.
And he is tied into that.
Well, allegedly. I think that's it.
Possibly. We don't know that for
I have no idea.
Right.
But what I heard last night from these parents, that some of these parents that reached out to me that were at this board meeting that filmed this, they indicated that it was their belief heading into this board meeting that this gentleman, Yeager, had a connection to Pathstone, and they wanted to ask him about it.
Well, here's what you do.
And
you
they
ask
did.
him about it, and the guy should be obligated as a board member to respond.
Instead, he laughed at them and gestured at them and mocked them, which is what led to what happened.
That doesn't do any good. Let me just tell you that people get angry when they're ignored, right? People get so here's what you do. You have the people ask the question. You have the board member answer.
Look how angry Tom is right now.
I know. And then you move on. It's like when you ignore, the herd, they're just going to get angrier.
Yeah. You got to feed the herd.
So feed the herd.
Feed the herd. Let them talk.
Give them what? Yeah.
Let them talk themselves down. Sometimes people talk themselves down.
They do.
You give them a chance to be heard. I mean, not me. I'll just keep talking.
And the problem goes away, right?
Yeah.
I thought the goal was herd immunity. What are we doing?
Oh,
do we have the side by side?
Stick a needle in them.
Do we have the next HBO fight?
Yes.
Do we have the next?
All right. There's the Tyson character on the left, and then we got the Yeager character on the right.
He's a good-looking fellow, I'll tell you that.
They actually almost look alike a little bit if they put the glasses on.
The one guy's got a hairier face.
Well, yeah, but they got the same shaped face.
Yeah, the V.
But the board member is clearly in the wrong here. The board member was
no doubt.
clearly acting ridiculous. I don't know what makes you act like that. I really don't.
Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to make this about my situation, but it's entirely pertinent at this point.
Sure.
Does this board member already have a letter posted to his door at home that says, don't ever come back on Penfield campus again, and don't ever come back to
because
Gates
of the bad behavior? Yeah.
Because you stood up at a board meeting and called somebody an asshole?
Yeah.
Has he not been banned from campus yet?
Let me just tell you something right now.
Because I didn't do any of that.
There is a Spencerport vice principal who basically said, F the cops on video.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy still has a job.
Well, he got suspended for a period of time.
But he still has a job.
Did he keep his job? Yeah.
Still has a job.
I forgot to follow up
as
on that.
vice principal
of
a school.
He went apeshit on the cops.
Teaching children in the Spencerport School District. Still has a job. F the cops. I hate the cops. During the riots, caught on camera saying all those horrendously vile, disgusting things.
Yeah.
Has a job.
Of course he does.
Schools and politicians and media have an agenda, and their agenda is not you or your children.
That's right.
It is lining their pockets with however they can make a buck off of something.
Jackpot.
And hating the cops. That's all. That's their main goal, right?
So if we're betting, who are we taking here? We got Tyson versus Yeager. I mean, that actually sounds like a great matchup. We got Mike Tyson.
I like Tyson. He's scrappy. He looks like a scrapper to me.
Is he going to bite Yeager's ear off?
You have to be careful.
Come on, Tyson.
But I like
bite his ear off.
But I like him.
Yeah.
We can talk about him, right? I'm just asking the question.
Probably not.
I think, but no, I think the guy obviously had a right to be angry because a board member called him an effing asshole. I might be mad too if someone in the middle of a school board meeting addressed me as
Is Yeager a real estate agent?
You might be mad. Okay.
You can, if the mood
Weren't
hits
you
me,
shooting people in the head yesterday?
Hackers need to be obviously made an example of, Tom.
Okay.
Duh.
I
All
heard
right.
you might
Got to
have.
make the hackers an
I
example.
heard you might have generated a couple letters for us yesterday.
What kind of letters? I'm just speaking the truth and good common sense. When people need an ass beaten, they need an ass beaten. I'm from the Midwest.
Okay.
Things are very simple.
You might
Ass
be
beatings.
upset.
There's
Belt whippings.
there's no gray
cane
area.
switches.
Where I grew up, there's black and there's white. You know, if someone needs an
See?
ass beaten, you beat their ass.
Segregation.
If
She said
someone-
black and white.
If someone needs, obviously, to be made an example of because they're hacking into
Canceled.
American companies and stealing our money and making life hard, and they're Russian hackers, you shoot them in the head and you be done with it, and then you make sure everyone sees them so you stop the hackers. That's all. Where I grew up, these are things that were just normal.
Kimberly's going back to hanging in the square.
These are
Chad.
things. Yeah, Bill Yeager, someone is saying. So thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so let me just say, you're not going to run up and hop up on the podium today where the judge is sitting and get in the judge's
That's
face.
my
Are
job.
you?
No comment.
Are they
Say
going to let
no.
me? Are they going to let me in, Chad?
Just
I'll,
say
I'll
no.
go. I'm ready. Put
We
me in,
don't-
coach.
We don't want that to happen. It is Kimberly's revolution. Of course, we want you to support our sponsors, Fantuzzo's Acupuncture,
Do we have a
Precision
bathroom?
Lawn and Garden. We have 2 bathrooms.
I gotta pee.
What? You might want to see a doctor about that. You might want to see a doctor. Is
How could you be peeing? You're sweating
it
so
painful
bad.
when they check your prostate? I'm just wondering.
I've never had that done.
Is that too personal a question?
It's called
Is
the
that-
shocker,
Is
Kimberly.
that like asking you if you've had your
If I've been
vaccine?
vaccinated,
Have you had the
Have
shocker?
you had your prostate checked?
I've done both.
it's personal, private information.
I just
The answer is no.
Because my husband gets up like 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night to pee. I mean, it is.
I don't pee in the middle of the night. I
No?
just pee a lot during the day.
Oh wait, it's coming. I'm letting you know what you have. You know, kind of like I'm dealing with hot flashes. Believe me, you're peeing in the middle of the night. It's coming.
In fact, I'm going to be right back.
Are you seriously? You know,
All right, nothing else to do.
It's just a free for all here on Kimberly's Revolution. Why not? Why not? Hey, listen. So there is an MSNBC analyst. Her name is Mara. I'm so woke gay. Is that what her? Yeah, Mara. I'm so woke gay. This is an MSNBC. I shouldn't even say any more than MSNBC because we understand what she is, right? We understand that she's so far left. She is off of the deep end, right?
Right.
She is so triggered by American flags. She said all she sees are American flags on the back of pickup trucks because apparently pickup trucks and the American flag are racist. I mean, I don't know, but she says she's very disturbed by that whole thing.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Is
right?
this where we are? I want you guys to listen to Mara. I'm so woke it hurts gay. Do we have
All
the
right.
video?
I think this is another area where Democrats really need to get serious about talking about what this threat is. I think you said it really well, Joe, a minute ago, where you talked about the need to stop being surprised by all of this and start taking it seriously. You know, it's really concerning to me that the Democrats haven't just gone ahead at this point and said we're doing this on our own in terms of getting a commission together to explain to the American people how we allowed the insurrection to take place in the Capitol. I think that really needs to move forward swiftly. You know, the reality is here that we have a large percentage of the American population. I don't know how big it is, but we have tens of millions of Trump voters who continue to believe that their rights as citizens are under threat by simple virtue of having to share the democracy with others.
What?
I think as long as they see Americanness as the same as one with whiteness, this is going to continue. We have to figure out how to get every American a place at the table in this democracy, but how to separate
Except for white people.
Americanness, America, from whiteness.
Holy
Until we
shit.
can confront that and talk about that, this is really going to continue. I was on Long Island this weekend visiting a really dear friend.
Here we go.
And I was really disturbed. I saw, dozens and dozens of pickup trucks with, explicatives against Joe Biden on the back of them, Trump flags, and some cases just dozens of American flags, which is also just disturbing because essentially the
What?
message was clear. It was,
Did you just hear that?
Wow.
Did you just hear her say that? And
Wasn't it
dozens,
Memorial Day weekend?
dozens of American flags,
See-
which is also so disturbing. This is sick.
Everything.
This woman is sick. She is the reason there are psychos everywhere. The American flag, I saw so many of them, and it's wrong. What is wrong with her? And why give this sicko a platform? You know what? You don't think I'm American and Americanness is all about whiteness. We're a melting pot. Isn't
Yeah.
that what
the
America?
only melting pot in the world.
Yes, isn't that what we've
The only
always
person
dubbed
that
ourselves?
thinks that way is that woman.
Is that woman
Right.
right there?
It's hard
That
to
is
believe.
so
No,
ridiculous.
She's not the only person that
Well,
thinks
I know,
that way.
There are a
normal
lot-
people.
Well, she's sick. She is not right.
I've
Yeah,
never
but
thought
she's
that
on.
way.
She's not on the We the People podcast network with
Right.
a couple hundred
Right.
listeners and followers. She's on MSNBC right now.
saying that Americanness is akin to whiteness.
They're
Where is
entertaining
she?
this
I
on the
know
national
they're
media.
entertaining this. It's ridiculous and sick.
Did anyone
It's
ask her
like
a question?
Her brain has been, taken over by a zombie-eating virus.
No, she's a Democrat.
she. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard out of someone's mouth.
Here's
that
the thing.
she saw so many. And by the way, so pickup trucks and the American flag are now disturbing
Yeah,
to people.
triggering.
I wonder if she would have been triggered in World War II in Iwo Jima when those Marines getting fired at by the Japanese were trying to put the flag up on the hill. You know, the iconic flag that we see that comes out of World War II where they're rushing up to put up the American flag.
Yep.
And that's what she's disgusted by. She's disgusting.
That's not the part of history she remembers.
By the very virtue of what came out of her mouth, she is a disgusting sicko. That's what she is.
It's almost treasonous. Everything she had said up until that point, you could vehemently disagree with her from a political standpoint.
Yeah.
But then she revealed exactly what she meant by everything that she had said previously.
Yeah.
She hates America.
Her hateful heart.
She hates America,
And
plain and simple.
American flags are disturbing.
And you and
That's
I,
what she said. That's what she said. You hear it. It's very clear. There's no, you took it out of context.
yeah,
She's having
exactly
a
it.
discussion. And by the way, she's also on the board of the New York Times.
shocker.
Is that a shocker?
Shocker.
She's on a New York Times editorial board member. She said that American flag displays were symptomatic of a broad coalition of Americans who revel in their whiteness.
There is still 45 seconds in the video if you want to see the
Oh.
rest of it.
Do we need more of it?
I don't need any more of the sicko.
What is she gonna
I-
What is she gonna call me next?
I don't even.
It's not all about you, Chad.
Go
I have
ahead.
a pickup truck.
This is my country. This is not your
Yep.
country. I own this. And so until we're ready
Who
to
did you
have
steal
that
it from?
conversation, this is going to continue. What really is concerning to me as well is it's not just Democrats in Congress. I think there's a large percentage of Americans, even some of my colleagues in journalism, who are invested in some way in pretending that this isn't the threat that it is. That is the real concern. Because, the Trump voters who are not going to get on board with democracy, they're a minority. You can marginalize them long term. But if we don't take the threat seriously, then I think we're all in really bad shape.
So
Yeah,
what if
I
we
mean-
don't take the threat of BLM seriously? They're a minority. Can we marginalize them? I mean, just
Well-
take her own words.
Right.
She just said Trump supporters, over 80 million of them,
Right.
are a minority, right?
Right.
Therefore, we can marginalize them, is what she said. But they're a threat, so we need to
They're
address
a
them.
threat and we're disturbing.
Well,
Apparently.
BLM is a minority,
Yeah.
numerically,
True.
right?
True.
Because I think that's what she meant. They're a minority, so we should marginalize them to deal with the threat that they are. Is that okay to say?
I just don't understand why
Are we going to get canceled for that?
Where we're getting,
What a loser.
why are we putting psychotics? Why are we giving them airtime? See, that's the question. These people are really mentally ill.
That's what Tom's wondering about me.
If you're
Right.
disturbed by the American flag,
Well,
you
this
know what?
is where
This
all
is-
these ideas come from, though. I mean, people watch the news, right?
This
and they're
isn't- right.
they're thinking, "Well, that makes sense to
Right.
me."
And
you
isn't
know?
it the first time? I mean, people have burned the flag. You know, you
Yeah.
see the wackos,
That's one
right?
thing.
You know, that's been going on for years. That's been going on since
They're looking
what,
for ways
the-
to get rid of their whiteness.
the 60s and even before. But now it's like there's a whole segment of the population that you ought to feel bad about who you are. I just and these people who have this mental illness, these sickos like, you know, Mara Gay, they're getting airtime. They're getting to spew their sickness to others.
Yeah,
That's the crazy part.
and people believe
Isn't
it.
And people believe it. And people believe it. Because you're white, this is your America, and you're flying the flag, and it scares people like her.
Bibles, guns, and trucks. And
Trucks.
flags.
And flags.
And
The
American
flag
flags.
that people died in many wars.
Our
to
only
keep-
unifying symbol.
to keep people like Mara Gay able to spew
Free.
the sickness that she spews.
Yeah.
So that Mara Gay can have a platform to say whatever she wants to say. The American flag that people spilled their blood over, that's what disturbs her. That's the kind of person she is, in a nutshell, basically.
Are you talking to me?
I'm not.
Are you talking to me?
That flag behind you,
You want to fight?
would be disturbing to her.
Oh, yeah. This room would trigger the
This-
shit out of her.
You know, I know that someone, Jose Pio, is a councilman in the
Yeah,
Northwest
you guys had him on the
District.
show the other day. How'd
He
that
is
go?
he is doing his
Went
own
great. He's going to do his own show
And-
on
and he-
Mondays at 4.
show. He had texted me
Wait,
to
did I
say,
just
"Hey,
announce that?
how's this going to work?" Well, listen, did you tell him at the last minute how it was going to work? I mean, I don't know.
No, he has no clue.
He's coming on here?
Yeah.
So he's going to do the We the People Podcast Network podcast, and he's trying to get.
When was I going to find out?
He was trying to get
You're-
another
You don't matter.
city council person on the show,
You've been busy.
and as long as I'm not involved, she wanted to make
Who?
sure I'm not involved. Not Rachel.
I was going to say.
She's not a council person, but
Okay.
no, Mary Lupian. As long as I'm not involved or my name's not on it, then she'll come on as a guest of Jose Pio on the We the People Podcast Network. And I'm
Wow.
like,
You guys are moving and shaking.
Yeah, we
without-
want all voices.
whatever,
All voices.
right? We don't. Yes, even the crazy
You
sicko
got too
voices.
big of a head for that, Chad. And
right?
it's on backwards.
Hey, speaking of American whiteness, is it okay for that looks like a penis on top of your head?
Well, Tom's been wearing it for
Yeah, but
3
it-
months
Yeah,
now.
but I make
But
it
on-
look cool.
On Tom, it really looks like he's
He
kind of
fits the part.
he's a nut wearing a tinfoil hat. On you, it just looks like a penis.
He just looks
I
cool.
already look like a nut with a tinfoil hat. Without the tinfoil hat, I think
Yeah,
that's what she just.
exactly.
Jeez.
So, do we have the Hunter
you should have
Biden?
started early and got done before you got here.
Still, no mainstream media is doing this story. Apparently, in 2018
now?
and 2019, Hunter Biden has
See, to me, it's normal.
an attorney. Hunter Biden has an attorney that he apparently called the N word, but
What?
ends with an A. Nigga
Canceled.
is the word that
can
Hunter
do
Biden
that?
used
Kimberly did it again.
on many occasions. You can see the text right there. There's Hunter Biden. Repeatedly called his attorney the N-word in a pair of bizarre and occasionally lewd text conversations
Was his attorney black?
from white.
Really? So what
They
the hell was he
called him-
doing?
He called him the N-word that ends with an A, which is different from the N-word that ends with the ER. Apparently, different vernacular, right?
So it's okay if you do it the
in-
first way.
In an exchange on December 2018, taken from Hunter Biden's laptop, which apparently the mainstream media doesn't give a rat's ass about.
No.
The Hunter Biden asked his attorney, "How much money do I owe you? Because N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates."
Wow. Holy shit. Could you imagine if you had said that
I
while
think
you were on the
that's
radio,
racist,
Kimberly?
right?
Yeah.
You know what you'd be doing right now? You'd be selling real estate.
You would be on a podcast
Doing a
selling real
podcast.
estate.
You'd
That's
be doing a
what I mean.
podcast with a guy with a tinfoil hat on his head selling real estate.
Yeah, but
So
I
we
make this
know-
look good.
We know that President Joe Biden said America is racist, and I guess maybe he was talking about his son.
he knows. Well,
Is
that's
he
why
talking about his son?
he has firsthand knowledge.
I mean, I'm not making this up.
Unreal.
It's in the New York Daily News and the New York Post.
I got my tinfoil hat on. This is
The
definitely
story is
made
there.
up.
Because people on Twitter are saying that this is not true.
Poor Lori.
When are the mainstream media going to take the laptop story seriously?
They're still talking about Trump. Trump's been out of office for how long? And
like 14 years, isn't it?
And this clown, what was her name? Mara Gay or Gay Mara?
Mara Gay.
Mara something.
Mara Gay.
Mara LGBTQXYZ. And we're still talking about Trump.
Yeah. Nothing about Hunter Biden calling his
Triggering.
white attorney the N-word and saying, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates.
Yeah, that happens every day.
How ridiculous is that conversation?
I love me some Hennessy.
Right? But you can see him. The story is out there. I mean, President Joe Biden said America is racist.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, right?
Guy's out of his mind.
He always says, since you're I guess the attorney's name is George. Since you're half black, you must also have a big penis. That's why all the girls can find it. Because you're half. I'm not making it up.
Wow.
Come on.
These are conversations that are in text messages. Now, maybe it was in the middle of his spiraling
Right.
out of control during his cocaine binge. I have no idea.
Let's go through your text messages, Kimberly, see what's in there.
I don't call anyone the N-word, right?
Right.
Not in a-
I don't think anybody
Apparently,
does.
The NIGGA is more like what you're calling your bro or your friend. The one that ends with ER is the one that apparently is not good. I don't know how you distinguish the two apart, but apparently there is a distinction.
Well, if you're a Democrat, it's fine
right?
because he's down with the struggle.
But I don't make these things up. And there it is in black and white text messages
And
with
it doesn't
Hunter
matter.
Biden.
And it doesn't matter.
And it just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
No one talks about it. No one says how inappropriate it is for a president's son or a vice president's son to be having conversations like this, not to mention all the millions and millions he made off of his father with the
Can I just ask a stupid question?
Burisma Ukrainian situation.
Isn't that my line?
What would happen if, we're 6 months into the Sleepy Joe presidency, right?
Yeah.
What would have happened if 6 months into Trump's presidency, the media had uncovered a text thread
From Don Jr.
from Don Jr.
Calling people the
To his
N-word.
that
lawyer.
said the exact same
to
thing.
his lawyer.
Oh,
The exact same thing. That's
It-
all.
it would be every
Could you
headline
imagine?
news story on every,
Could you imagine?
on every news outlet. It would be the number one story. But it's like I said yesterday.
That's because he
Listen,
wouldn't do it. He
no
probably
one-
never has.
No,
No
you're
one
right.
is
Good point.
the local media from the national media. I asked a simple question, and I asked it on Twitter yesterday as
I
well.
saw that you did.
Why is the local media not hounding and chasing down Lovely Warren for a comment regarding her daughter being taken along on a drug deal?
Because she's driving too fast down the thruway in her SUV.
Right? Why is the media not after her
Oh, wait a
for
minute.
answers? Why are they not parked in her front lawn? Why are they not asking the questions? There he is. There he is.
Hell is that?
What?
He's doing
I'm Tim.
Gosh.
I'm Tim.
that's Timothy Granison walking out of court after he was arrested.
Don't look
So-
at me, man.
so-
Don't look at my face.
Let me just tell you what happened on that Twitter feed after I said, why is the media not doing their job? Why aren't they asking Mayor Lovely Warren the pertinent questions?
Did Mayor Lovely Warren respond?
Why aren't they going to her house? Why aren't they camping out in front of wherever it is she lives? I tweeted that. And, inevitably, you know what someone said? Oh, the racist rears her ugly head again. And I'm like,
Oh, God.
I'm
course.
racist because I'm asking,
Yeah.
why isn't the media doing their job? And here's why the media isn't doing their job. They don't want to be cappled.
Yeah. Great
They
point.
don't want to be, and I'm using obviously, they don't want to be
decapitated.
decappled.
Decapitated.
They don't want to be Jeremy Cappled. And
Yeah.
that's what will happen
Because they all know she's going to win.
because they all know that Lovely Warren is going to win
Yep.
for mayor again. And when she
Landslide.
does, if anyone
Heads will roll.
dare to go to her house, to camp out in front of where she's living,
Ask her
to
a tough
try to
question.
get comments while she's taking her daughter or her security detail is taking her daughter to school, however it works, they'll be fired eventually.
Is that him?
That's him.
How old
That's
is
Timothy
he?
Granison.
He looks like he's 25.
I think he's 40 something. He was 18 in the 90s when he went along with his buddies to rob the Source jewelry store, and he was the getaway driver. He was taking part in one of the third largest robberies in Rochester history, and she still married him.
Was that larger than the AMSA heist from 1990?
No, it's the third largest. So there was the AMSA, there was the Brinks, right?
Mhm.
And then there was the Source, because they got away with almost $900,000 in jewelry and cash.
So you're familiar with the AMSA?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my family.
Oh, you're connected, are you?
True story.
Is that
that
right?
I told
My
you to
cousin,
ask
yeah.
him at some point about it.
That was my cousin,
Your cousin's name is who?
Ranieri.
Oh my God.
That's my mom's first
Hello.
cousin.
You're related to the Ranieris?
Yes, I'm a Ranieri.
You are not a Ranieri.
I'm a Ranieri.
Are you?
I am.
Don't
And-
tell
and
the
how are
judge
you-
that
Are you going to interview me now?
Yeah.
Should I? Let me get my lawyer.
Where's the money?
I don't know.
Ah, good. That's all I want to know.
I think I know.
I want to know where the money is buried. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
But
At one point, they thought that my grandfather was the mastermind behind it, and they camped out at his house. The FBI sent in another family member wearing a wire.
Was he?
I don't know.
Is he alive?
My grandfather, no, he passed away.
Because some of the
I honestly
they
don't
never
know.
recovered all the money, right?
I don't think they recovered any of it. The only money they think they recovered is $20,000 in cash in unmarked bills in attorney Anthony Leonardo's downtown law practice.
Oh,
Right. That was when they finally brought down Ranieri.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they got him on the murder
yeah.
of the partner of
And
the
how are
Harbor
you
Beach
related
Club.
to the Ranieri again?
It's my mom's family. They're my cousins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Harbor Beach Club, right?
Yeah.
Which is NOLA's or whatever it is
yeah.
now. I don't know what it was.
We used to call it snappers.
Snappers. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So-
my mom's going to be so mad at me. My mom's father, John Ranieri, my grandfather, his brother, so my mom's uncle, it was his son, my mom's first cousin. So I kind of did an end around there.
Wow.
But my mom's cousin is the one that's in prison for the murder.
Yeah.
And they believe that he was involved. I mean, he was the driver. He was the driver of the AMSA truck, and they believe that he was part of an inside job. They
Yeah.
never pinned it on him. The statute of limitations ran out, and then they were able to get him on the murder.
It's fascinating.
And Leonardo was involved in the drug transactions.
Mhm.
Tony Leonardo, I
Mhm.
believe he might have died in prison. I don't
I
remember.
think he's dead.
Yeah,
right?
he got injured. They pushed him down the stairs or something.
Yeah,
and-
he wasn't in good health to begin with.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they found when they stormed into Leonardo's office. I was in law school at the time. It was in 1999. It was right before Christmas of 99.
Because you got to do some shopping.
Yeah,
So you rob a
yeah.
Sure.
So they get into Leonardo's office.
Where
and
do you
they-
think Chad gets all the suits
money
from?
truck.
and they
That's
have
it.
a warrant, and they found $20,000 in unmarked bills. And the AMSA heist, all of the bills were bills that were going to be destroyed. It was surplus cash that was in transport to be destroyed. So there was no serial numbers
Why
or however
destroy
that
it?
works.
Give it to me.
So they thought, they thought that was how they could tie what the money, the cash that they found in Leonardo's office. They believe it to be the only cash that they ever recovered from the heist.
Wow.
But I guess they weren't able to forensically prove that.
Fascinating.
And it didn't matter because the statute of limitations was up anyway.
Right, exactly.
So yeah.
Well, now
we can talk
see-
more about that later.
Now we see where you
What?
No.
What?
I'm teasing you.
I've just
But-
been indicted.
So stand with Chad.
I didn't get any of the
stand with
money.
Chad. Going to court here in just a few.
Am I late?
There is a big rally at Irondequoit Town Court.
There was a huge rally last time. I was so impressed. I was so
I
humbled.
know.
I don't know if it'll be that big tonight. If
So
it
what
is
time
or
do you have to
isn't.
be there? It's at 5:30. You have to be in court at 5.
Yeah, court. I have to be in court at 5:30, so I'll sneak in, right around 5:30 without anyone seeing me. Hopefully, because I got to get in the courtroom. I
Right.
don't have time to.
And hopefully it'll be very quick.
Yeah, and then
Right.
afterwards, if there's people around, I'll be happy to,
Answer questions.
For 2
talk to
hours.
people.
Will
Yeah.
the reporter be there with the camera in her face wearing high heels and shorts?
Oh my God,
I'm just
shorts!
asking- I'm just
I don't think
asking.
she had anything on.
I don't know.
She had high heels.
She had, I
She
don't
had
know
high
what she
heels
had
and a
on.
microphone. That's all she
Yeah,
brought with her last time was
that's-
high heels and a microphone.
That's exact. Hey, speaking
Hey.
of high heels, so do we have the picture?
Why is she
of,
looking at Tom?
I don't know.
of the high heeled Crocs?
I could pull
that-
off high
What the
heels.
hell?
Listen, guys,
I like
your
it.
Lori is gonna love these.
Wow.
Lori
right.
is going to love these. She's sitting in here right now. These
That's
are
way too high of a heel for her.
if your woman loves Crocs, then you should get her these.
Those are brutal.
Just say no. Just say no to the high heel Crocs.
Tom's going to show up with those on next week. I can see it now.
I can't believe those are a thing, but the high heel Crocs are a thing.
That's not a thing.
You would look so pretty in them.
That's not a thing.
That
What
is
does that
Just Tom.
cost?
You would look so
Stupid.
pretty.
$40.
I don't know how.
Crocs are $40, aren't
I
they?
have no
the
idea.
the real ones?
Can I just tell you, I'm wearing my daughter's Crocs that she wore in 3rd grade. I don't wear Crocs. I think they're the
So
ugliest.
you have no
thing.
shame?
Along with Uggs, I think Crocs are the ugliest shoe ever made.
I agree.
Along with Ugg boots, which I've never understood, and I've never worn a pair. I think they're
comfy.
ugly. Which?
He would
Ugg
know.
boots.
He would know. He wears
I've
Uggs.
never had Ugg
Do you have
boots.
Ugg slippers? I bought my
No.
husband Ugg slippers, and I thought he was going to freak out on me.
I don't wear slippers at all.
You don't?
No.
My husband wears slippers. He goes, I'm not wearing these Ugg slippers. What kind of man do you think I am?
Oh, I met just complete tangent here. Last Friday I went out on a chartered fishing trip out on Lake Ontario
Nice.
with a couple friends.
Yeah.
And when we pulled back into harbor, when we got back into port, the boat next to our dock, also a fishing charter boat.
Did it say Aquaholic on it?
Apparently, it's owned by a colleague of your husband's.
Really?
Yeah, because one of the gentlemen that I was out on my fishing trip with
Yeah.
knew of you through what I'm doing here and all that.
Right.
So he said, "Oh, by the way, that he was talking to the gentleman on the boat. The guy helped pull our boat in and all that,
Okay.
and they were making small talk. And all of a sudden, it occurred to him, the guy that I was out on the boat with. He said, "Oh, and by the way, this guy works with Kimberly's husband."
Oh, wow. Small
Yeah.
world,
I
right?
don't remember his name, but
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I met one of your.
Well, that's
husband's
okay.
colleagues.
Shout out to that guy. Does
Yeah,
he watch
exactly.
Kimberly's Revolution?
I told him to. He asked,
Everybody
Yay.
does.
well, he asked what you were
Everybody does.
doing. He asked
Yeah.
where you landed, and I said she landed over here, and we do a
Absolutely.
podcast. And
Right. So I'm
Yeah.
showing houses while you're going to court, and
I don't know.
I don't know what Tom's doing.
No.
just,
Wait,
Tom.
no, I don't think really anyone knows what Tom's doing.
Right. That's
But-
my plaid.
But
That's why
whatever.
Lori's here to make sure she keeps an eye on what he's doing.
That's right.
Yes.
That is absolutely right. Oh, you got your dogs groomed today.
I did. Yeah.
And so here's what's cute about Tom's dogs. They twirl for a treat.
Right.
And so my question is, do you also twirl for a,
Yes.
a
Oh,
treat?
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
twirls a lot for
Exactly. All right. Court. I stand
Court.
with Chad. Kimberly's revolution, right? We stand with Chad. Of course we do, right?
I stand with Chad.
I stand with Chad. All right. That's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution today. We will be back on Monday with Kimberly's Revolution Daily Show along with Just Tom.
do I get my 5 minutes on either Monday or Tuesday next week? Or-
Yeah, you want your 5 minutes now?
Can I
No,
plug my
no, it's
podcast?
okay.
real-
Yes. What are you doing
Why
with
don't
your
you talk about your podcast?
Well, wait a
I
minute.
launched my podcast last night. You didn't even watch.
Listen,
After
I
you
didn't-
busted my balls for not having launched it yet. And then you didn't even
rightly so.
watch.
Are you going to argue this point with me?
I'm just practicing for court tonight.
Put the
Okay.
picture up, Chad.
I'm getting warmed
Chad
up.
And Kimberly,
This is
put the
one you're
picture
not
up.
going to win.
I'm
You
getting
know-
warmed up.
You know I'm right.
No, I came on yesterday. I cameoed on your
Fight,
show, and I
fight,
admitted.
right.
I admitted I was wrong.
Fight.
Yeah.
I had to square you up. I had
Yes.
to get you,
I acknowledged that.
you know.
But I showed back up here last night at 8:45, and Tom and Austin squared me away. And
And I'm sure it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I launched the Got Freedom podcast.
So when are you going to regularly do the podcast?
Really? You had to ask me a question I don't know the answer to?
It's got to be Monday
it's really
or
not.
Tuesday.
It's really not that hard.
Monday or Tuesday.
It's
Pick a
not.
day.
It's not that hard.
I don't know yet.
By the way, for everybody listening, programming for the We the People podcast network will be on Mondays and Tuesdays, except for this show that's on Wednesday. So
what the hell
just,
did he just say?
just
I didn't get that, so I don't know how they got that.
just plan your time for Mondays and Tuesdays from 2:00 on, and we're going to get you some great shows to
Yeah,
watch.
we have great shows, including City Councilman Jose
I'm really
Pio.
excited about Jose
According
Pio.
to
You guys didn't even tell me.
Chad,
Mhm.
I'm
You
supposed
know?
to have a vote in this. I didn't
what's
even get to
what's the
vote.
name of your show again?
Got Freedom.
Got Freedom.
Got Freedom with a question mark.
And then,
yeah.
of course, Matt Fritz was on last night as well on the We the People podcast
Real
network.
Talk with Matt Fritz.
And he brought Callie Marie in,
That's his-
another Papillon.
He did.
Yes, Callie Marie's awesome.
He has a Papillon.
Yes,
This is the We the People Papillon Network.
we love our pappies.
I guess. All right. Until next time on Kimberly's Revolution, as we always
Barking
say,
cats.
we support our sponsors because they support us, and we appreciate them, and we need them in order to do this show.
And Rock Fox with
Rock
Scott.
Box with Fitz and Bushnell's Basin.
God bless. Be kind to others.
Go America.
Rejuvenate,
I stand with
restore,
Chad.
refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor 500 help.